Hello, everybody. It's Max with Crypto Talk. Now, with Quant, are they basically doing more than what Bitcoin does in its whole entire market cap? Well, I know that seems like a very bold thing to say, but I think they're doing just that. So, what am I referring to? Well, let's jump right into it. So, this comes, of course, straight from Twitter and from this particular person that I'm following who goes by Quant316. And like he says that the editing on this is funny as hell, but if anything, it's more than just being funny. It's a really, really good snippet, and I want to share it with you guys. And I think, if anything, it gives pause to make you think about the utility behind Quant and how it's just so much better compared to Bitcoin, even though both of them are always being compared side by side. But Quant takes the cake because it has, again, that utility, a lower circulating supply, and way less total and max supply. So let's take a moment, and then we'll be right back.
It's maybe global in that context.
Yeah, Ben. I don't know. In 10 years' time, we may be hitting limits.
Trillions and trillions of pounds flowing through the network every couple of hours is more than what Bitcoin does in its whole market cap. So Bitcoin is still small in terms of its volume. So there's trillions flowing through the system, and so in 5 years' time, where it's going to be, I think value will be derived in the trillions because excuse me. I think in about 10 years' time, every couple of hours is trillions and trillions of every couple of hours is trillions and trillions of flowing through the network,
hitting limits.
DeFi is just a small drop. Is more than what Bitcoin does in its whole market cap. In the back end, no one's going to care how it works.
That's a beautiful vision, and I support it 100%.
Yeah, supports 100%, to say the least, right? So, that video is it nails, it nails it right on the head. Absolutely, right? And it's just that, think about literally like what, Gilbert Verdian basically said. You have trillions of dollars that are, basically going through the likes of Quant, and they're able to do within a couple hours, and that so far surpasses the entire market cap of Bitcoin, right? And you can't do that with the likes of Bitcoin. It just doesn't have the utility there, right? So anyway, there's a little bit more. There's this one I want to share with you guys. It just basically gives you an idea and gist of what they're trying to do with with Quant and so on. Again, straight from Gilbert Verdian, but again, it just really, really pounds it home on what they're trying to do at Quant. We'll, of course, come right back, share this with you guys.
We came to the US to actually just explain the potential of the technology and what we're seeing globally. And I work across 3 governments, so in the Federal Reserve, in the European Commission, and in the UK government. And there's a common trend where people are excited about this technology. They want to do something about it. We describe our work at Quant as laying the foundations with Overledger to build the Internet of Trust. We are honoring the original vision of the Internet by decentralizing it. While the potential for this technology is tremendous, to be clear, it's not a panacea. It's not going to cure cancer by itself, but it is a critical part of shaping the systems at will.
All right, so there's that. On top of that, of course, I want to bring you this particular statement. And the reason why I want to bring you this particular statement is, again, a reference to back to the first particular clip, you know, the funny, hilarious one, but this face is serious at the same time. And that is, like it mentions, this estimation for Quant was back in 2019, right? So there's a Medium article you can look more into if you want, which is cool. I'm a big fan of Medium. I just like how it's broken down. But look at this. So this is from TLDR. It says, according to the model, Quant token will be around 13,000 per token, and Overledger will be facilitating around 20 trillion transactions annually by 2030 to 2031. Now that statement, I feel as though it is accurate, right? As far as the transactions, it says with the market cap of around 190 billion. That right there, I'm gonna say that's inaccurate. I'm willing to state, and I'm not the only one. Let's face it. Literally, Quant would be in the trillions. Okay, for what you see, what's going on right now with ISO 222 coming up and so on. I feel as though it's just that. This will even be into the trillions because of all that debt that they're taking on, right? I mean, how can you accurately, predict the true value behind it? I think this is even more higher than what you see at 13,000 per token. I myself and other people, again, it's not official financial advice or anything. You may think this is nuts. I get it, especially if you're a first-time viewer of this. Yeah, I would highly recommend doing more research into Quant. But the 13,000 per token, I know it sounds amazing, but I myself and many others feel as though we're looking at like 103,000 per token, if not higher. I know some people got it in literally over $1 million. I know that it sounds bizarre. You're like, there's just no way. You don't understand market cap and so on. How about this? Stop focusing so much on the retail adoption. Focus more on that financial sector adoption, right? Where literally trillions of dollars, maybe even more than that, right? Quadrillions are literally being traded. And like it mentions here, annually. But if anything, how about this? One country, from point A to point B, like for instance, I don't know, just throw out an example. I'm not saying this is exactly how it's going to be. Like, Italy wants to borrow $5 trillion from Germany, something like that, right? The value behind just that. And that's where I think also when it comes to XRP, a lot of people were trying to be conservative with saying, all right, well, 10% of that comes out to be, for instance, trying to value XRP at that time would be like, 1,200 on XRP. That's being conservative about it, right? What about the likes of Quant? That's the point I'm trying to make. So it says, for instance, on this last part, it says, this implies Quant is massively undervalued at the moment as the current discounted expected. It is. And again, this was back in 2019, right? You can have an idea of where this market cap is going to go to well into 2023. And I especially think all the way up to 2025. And heck, like what they're talking about by 2030, if you're willing to hold that long, right? It's going to be absolutely massive. All right, a little bit more. There's this particular clip. This will be the last one before we wrap things up. It states just that. It says, Quant doesn't behave like other tokens. It doesn't. And if anything, in this bear market, it has proven itself, right? This last month, right? October, for instance. Yeah, I realize we're in November now. Crazy, right? The whole darn year is about to end. This thing just went by like super fast. Point is, last month, Quant was up 70% on average, right? While there were so many other things that weren't. And if Quant is able to do that in a bear market, can you imagine what it will do in the next bull market? All right. So it says they're not concerned with crypto market adoption. That's too small. Yeah, just that, right? Just like with Ripple, they're not concerned with, for instance, especially the retail market, right? That for them is not their focus. And what's the direct correlation? I would say basically what is going on with ISO 222, and especially with what's going on with the large, central banks. You get the idea. But it says instead, Quant Network, basically focuses on building infrastructure for 99% of existing financial value and capturing huge global enterprise volume. It's just that, capturing that huge volume. You literally heard Gilbert basically mention the trillions of dollars that goes in within a couple of hours. you know, for instance, compared to Bitcoin's entire market cap. Pretty awesome stuff. So we're going to play this. And then, of course, we'll be right back. And then, of course, we'll have some closing comments and wrap up the video. Stay tuned. Watch this.
Is where the market is. On the large scale, what's happening is entire systems are transforming and re-platforming and re-architecting to be compatible to decentralization. They're not turning off what they've got and putting everything on blockchain. They've invested billions and billions of dollars and pounds into their infrastructure. But what you do is you take that existing investment and you make it compatible to DLT. And that's what we're doing. You know, our core is to show how easy it is to integrate through our API, whatever you've got that's existing, to be able to talk to different digital assets and blockchains and transact across them. It's a huge market and we're excited because the adoption is happening.
So it's just that, you know, the adoption, like you mentioned, is happening, and it's going to continue to happen. You know, with the likes of Quant, for instance, it's more to it, more than meets the eye, right? Like Transformers, if you will. It's basically just that. You are investing in software. That's the way I look at it personally. You're investing into the premier operating system for blockchain. Right? Not just one specific one that does this specific task or, you know, this particular mechanism. Think of all the things that Quant is connected to. Like we mentioned before countless times, the payment APIs, what's going on with the financial sector, support for legacy systems, literally everything. And if it is everything, then what is this, you know, what does this entail? You know, I feel as though personally that Quant is like a monopoly. You know, there isn't really any other crypto product, because let's face it, this is not, I mean, it seems like it's an ongoing project, but at this point, it literally is just that, the product. What is the product? The product is just that. It is an operating system for blockchain. And if you think about that, that's where you get the comparison of saying that Quant is basically the Microsoft of crypto. When you think about Microsoft, right, that in itself is a monopoly. We have literally 90% of the world's home PCs running, you know, the Microsoft Windows operating system, and the other 10% happen to be, you know, Apple's OS X. You can kind of, you know, have a firm understanding. Yeah, I get the whole thing about Linux and so on is free, but talking about as far as, you know, what ones make money and what ones don't. So let me know what you guys think in regards to all this. Is this an accurate statement with what he's mentioned? You know, for instance, with the trillions of dollars basically, you know, going in and out. For instance, you know, with Quant and what they have to offer within 2 hours, and how that equals to or I should say, exceeds far more than what Bitcoin's, you know, market cap is. I think that's pretty accurate, but nonetheless, I do want to hear from you guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And by all means, check out our new Crypto Talk Now network app from CryptoTalkNow.net. Connect with other people that are into, for instance, crypto and so on. We're trying to make it, of course, the one-stop shop for all things crypto. Don't believe me? Go see it for yourself. Again, CryptoTalkNow.net. And then, if anything, try out the app for yourself. And then, guys, it's just that if you happen to enjoy a live show, we do have a daily live show, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and we do quite often talk about Quant and other ISOs. So, thanks again for watching, everybody. May you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.